Hello, this little video is about running RedBone's new snowbuzzerd. It's their call that's going to take the place of the old snow goose call and the buzzard call they used to make, because it'll make both the sound of both of those. It does the real low end stuff like the buzzard did, and then it'll do the high end stuff like the snow goose. They even got a little Canada. You know, like the little guys that we hunt down here. So it's got both sounds in it, but it's very important to understand that the air that you put in it is an airstream that's mixed with voice. Okay, it's a voiced airstream. If you were going to use a 6-in-1 whistle to do a Drake sound, a Mallard Drake sound, or if you were going to operate Robertson's Drake whistle, you would. It would be a voice quality, but an airstream. Okay, air with voice. That's what this is. That's what this runs on. Air with voice. In other words, you're going to make a sound into the call, and it's going to make a sound on it coming out this way that's different. Okay, you're going to call into the call to make it do that. Okay, and it's a lot simpler than you probably think. So it's just the beginning stuff is that's the first air. Okay, that's the air presentation. The grip is just as if you were gonna, your buddy was over yonder and you were gonna, hey! That's that grip. Same way that you would put your hand over your mouth to holler at somebody, you put it on the call like that. I grab it down low. I know a couple of other really good snow goose callers, they catch theirs high. I catch mine down here like this. Okay, and then I just put it up on my mouth like I'm gonna holler at somebody. You see your hand changing a whole lot of, how it affects the sound. You use that to make different geese or throw the sound a little bit. Okay? Grip. And then voice with air, calling into the call. First thing is the murmur. The murmur is the word gook. You know, is gook, gook, gook. Gook, 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 gook. Gook, 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 gook. And you just get to where you can say gook, 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 gook fast. Okay, you just have to learn how to do that. Ain't no magic there. Just gook, 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 gook. You know, and they don't all the time go fast. Sometimes they hit just 2 or 3, and then sometimes it might be 10. You know, so you want to keep that in mind when you're doing your murmur. Again, calling into the call, go 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 go. You make a sound into the call, and the call changes that and makes it sound like a goose when it comes out. All right. The next one is the moan. Snow geese moan. If you listen to them, a lot of times when they're decoying, you'll hear them make this sound. Whoa. Whoa. And again, that's what you do into the call. Whoa. An airstream with voice, calling into the call. They do that a lot when they decoy. Okay, so a little combination, if you was in the last stages of finishing, it might be something like and a lot of days when it's quiet and they've been hunted a lot of times just those two sounds right there will let them decoy. You know, a snow goose hunting, the decoys are the hail call. Okay, they can see those white decoys or them 1200 white silicox or whatever you have, they can see that for a long way. Okay, you just want to give them something some kind of little realism issue to let them finish on most of the time. Okay, so moan and murmur. Half bark. That's just a little less air than what he uses to make that sound that you hear when he's flying. Okay, and again, it's the half bark is wow, 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 and that's what you're doing to the call. Wow, calling to the call. Wow, 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 wow. They do that all the time, walking around, flying. They're a good natural sound. I think you might find that other bird species come to it too. Drow, drow. Half bark. Okay, now the sentry bark is the one where the one standing on the levee over there watching, he's going, oh! About every 5 or 6 seconds he's going to, oh! And he's going to let all the other ones know everything's alright. That's the sentry bark. And that sound, if you were going to try to make the sentry bark with your voice, that's exactly what you put into the call to make it. A lot less voice and more airstream. Just like exactly like that. If you make the sound with your voice, you'll be adding the right amount of voice to the air mixture. Okay, you'll be creating the right mix of voice and air if you make the sound yourself. Okay? Okay, now the bark, the one that they make when they're flying, the hail call. It's the sentry bark, but harder. Okay, I can't do it anymore. When I was a kid, I was pretty good at hollering at them, but now that's gone. So it's just that same voice air mixture as the sentry bark, but you just do it clear. All the time with that voice in the background. You hear it in there? Snow geese, they don't make a sound like a backup alarm. Their sounds are filled with scratch. And that voice quality and the way that this is built will put that in there if you let it. Okay, that's what I say, calling it to the call of an airstream and a voice mixed. Okay, some of the notes are heavier on the voice side. I mean, on the airstream side of it, like this. Okay, and some are heavily weighted. The mixture is weighted or rich on the voice side of it. Okay? Calling into the call. That's what your snowbuzzerd is all about. Okay? You make a sound and put that in there. This changes what you put in there into something like a goose does. That's the idea behind the snowbuzzerd. Now the other part of the little video is going to be about taking your call apart and using the 2013 gut system, to do some of the things that it'll do for you. Okay, so you take your call, ready to do something with the reed, ready to clean it. I don't know, whatever reason you need to take it apart, all the way take it apart. Okay, this comes apart, twist it. Okay, look at it. You'll see that you'll see how it's made. How that shoulder head space is against the end of the insert. Okay. You don't have to remember too much about it because it doesn't make any sense to put it together any other way except what I'm fixing to show you. Take something and push it in there, push the wedge out. Everything comes out. Here's your tone board. See those two little ears? Those little ears are your friend. Friendly little ears right there. Okay, so you got it like this. You take that, you wash it, clean it, wipe it off, do whatever you're going to do to it. You get ready to put it back together. You do exactly what you think you should do. Put the reed on there until it touches those ears, and then set the wedge up there till it's up against those ears. And you take that stuff, all of that, and shove it into the insert. Yeah, it is. Catch it right here now. So this all goes in together, all the way down to where it touches the insert again. Okay? It works just like you think it would. When you've done that, you put it back in exactly the same position that she put it in when she built it. Okay? So it's going to go back every time. Don't be afraid to take your call apart and put it back together to clean it or whatever you need to do to it, because trust me, you can put it back together, and when you do, it's going to be just like it was. So don't worry about the tuning. You don't have to be super tuner. Okay? You don't have to be an internet guru, super tuner, snow goose guru wizard to do that. It's nothing to it. Okay? And it's back like it was. Ready to go. Okay. Now your call is going to come with a few extra reeds. Alright. So in case this one delambs or whatever, because you know Mylar is not exactly the most dependable material in the world. When you get ready to change the reed or adjust for tone like I'm fixing to show you, take your old reed out. Don't lose it. This is the key. This is the one that the shop says works best in. Okay? You take one of your new ones, put the old one on top of it, tip to tip, and you can look at that and see that the new one's longer. Okay? And if you wanted it to match exactly, or be exactly like it was when you bought it, then you'd cut it off flush right here. And if you wanted it to be just a hair lower pitched, harder to blow, kind of nastier maybe, you might leave that 0.010 longer, a 1/16 of an inch longer. Put it in there, blow it. If it's too stiff, then you cut it off. Just exactly like you would do with a single reed duck call. If you were going to adjust the reed or cut reeds for your single reed duck call, that idea, those concepts apply to this. Okay? That's one thing that's so good about this thing right here. It changes that snow goose sound, the way that we get the snow goose sound, it changes it into something like a duck call so that the reed responds in the same way that a duck call does. Okay? So, you cleaned it, ready to go. Put it in here. Put the wedge on it. Square it up, make sure everything looks kind of cool. Push it on the end of the insert. grab it by the, push it on the wedge, grab it by the wedge and push it all in at the same time. Down to the insert. Nothing can slide out this way. Nothing can slide out that way. You got it. It's back in tune. Okay? And if you'd have made the reed a little bit longer, it would have been a little deeper than that. That would have been it. Or if you'd have shortened this one a little bit, it would have been a little lighter than that. Okay? So you get to kind of mess with it and do like you want, but don't lose that reed that came with from the shop, because that one is cut exactly right. The wedge and the tone board are going to save the operating characteristics, and you're going to adjust the tone by messing with this. Okay? That's a big deal. You get to do some stuff with it. Everybody likes to custom their calls. Well, here you go. You don't have to worry about sending it back to the shop to get it tuned again, because all you have to do is put the reed and the wedge on our friendly little ears, and everything's good to go. Okay? I'm not telling you need to take it apart and fix it, because it sure ain't gonna be broke when you get it, when you take it out of the box. But if you want to fool with it, that's how you do it. And you need to clean it. I mean, a lot of times lay it in a spread or in a layout blind or even in a pit blind. I mean, things are going to get dirt in them. Crackers, peanuts, coke, all kind of stuff. Okay? I think you're really going to enjoy that little system once you kind of get used to it. And don't be afraid to take it apart and put it back together. You don't need to send it. You don't have to send it in if you don't want to have it tuned. Okay?